Hi guys, Ian from footballboots.co.uk here, and today I'm going to be talking about cleaning the Nike Superfly IV as seen at the World Cup, worn by the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, and we're just going to talk a little bit about how it is best to clean them. Check out our channel, we've also got cleaning videos of the Magista, the Predator Instinct, the Hypervenoms, but today we're focusing on the Superfly. So let's whip these off. Okay, so for today's cleaning video, I'm just going to be using three specific things. One small cleaning cloth, toothbrush, and then one larger cleaning cloth. I've also got a bucket of kind of lukewarm water, using that too. And let's start on cleaning these boots. So first thing I'm going to do is, because this area of the boot here does absorb water, doesn't have the ACC coating on it or any Nike skin, it's just a sock type material. I want to make sure that if any water does get into this area, it doesn't drip through into the bottom of the boot. So we don't want water to come in through here. So I'm just going to put the towel in. And that's going to absorb any water that makes it through this sock material as such. So you can see that goes all the way down there now, so I can concentrate on cleaning the boot. I'm pretty lucky this isn't particularly dirty today, so I'm just going to be cleaning the top part. So you can start off just with a slightly wet cloth, and because of the Nike skin, because of the ACC, this should just wipe clean. And that's coming up really nice there. You're getting the shine of the boots already, and you can see the cloth is picking everything up. So just going to get in around the Brio cables here. And that's the thing, these might be Flyknit boots, but because they have the ACC coating, because they have the layer of Nike skin, they are actually very easy to clean. So look at that, we've already got like a brand new looking boot for us here. You do notice here possibly a little bit discoloration, and that's where there isn't any ACC or Nike skin getting into the Flyknit itself here, and this is just going to be a bit harder to clean. But giving it a good rub there, it is actually working and getting that bit out, and mud out too. So one of the hardest parts to clean on the Mercurial Superfly is the Flyknit collar, well, the dynamic fit collar and the Flyknit itself. So you can see I've got a bit of mud in my Flyknit collar here, so I'm just going to try and wipe that off. Might actually switch to the toothbrush, and then I can just try and work it off, and you can watch now and see if it disappears or not. It's just a case of getting the water, getting the mud, and then using the toothbrush to annoy the mud out of there. There you go. You can see the colours of the Flyknit coming through there. You see that? And yeah, I've almost got that mud off now, which is handy. And then the same thing applies here as well. You can see mud on the Flyknit area here. It's just where it's not protected by the ACC or Nike skin. And so I'm just going to use water and the toothbrush again, and that will clean off that area. And you do that anywhere else that it is affecting the boot. Get in here and clean those bits off if you want. Just depends on how they look after you've had your game, really. You want to stay on top of it because it is annoying to get it out, so if you can, get it as soon as possible. Alright, well, I'm pretty happy with the state of these. Yeah, that worked out pretty well. Oh look, there's just a cheeky bit more there. Clean that off too. But this is the worst bit of cleaning the Superflies, is this getting the little bits of mud out of the Flyknit and the dynamic fit collar. So there you go. So we got a bit more mud in here on the Flyknit, and this time I'm just going to get the toothbrush a little bit wet, and then just use the toothbrush to get this bit of mud and kind of dilute it off almost. It's just a little bit of rubbing with the toothbrush and away goes the mud. Same thing on the lace here, you can just see that there's a bit of mud on there. So I'm just using a wet toothbrush and working off the mud as such. Carries all the way up here. I've even got some on this the Flynet sock as such, and I'll just use a wet toothbrush on that again, just to try and work it off. It's cleaning up pretty good. Now I've agitated it, so to speak, I'm going to switch back to my other cloth and just use that to dab this bit clear. And this is where it's handy that I've got that towel underneath, because it means that it's soaking up any water that I'm putting through. That seems pretty good. Right, let's just switch to the inside here and we'll just give this a good clean up as well. And the next step is going to be to switch, and I'll clean the sole plate. Probably get my toothbrush out again. Interesting to note here that on the Magista there's a thin extra layer of night skin that runs around here between the sole plate and the boot itself, which isn't here on the Superflies. Anyway, so just make sure you get that area nice and clean. You want to get any extra mud out that is in there. You don't want to see any separation. Might be even tempted to just get the toothbrush a little bit wet and very gently just go through this area and try and clean that out. You want to be very gentle with it though, you don't want to cause any separation yourself, so it's just working out whatever's on the surface there as such. Right, now before I start spreading any of the mud from the sole of the boot onto the upper, I'm going to make sure I'm going to clean this area off as well. So this is where the toothbrush comes in handy. I'm sure you've done it yourself before. You can get the bottom of the toothbrush and just work off the mud. So the Superfly has the carbon fibre sole, and I'm just going to switch and then start just using the toothbrush on this a bit. Let's buck it up right here now and we'll just do it this way. The mud gets into these little grooves of the studs at the back here. You can just use the toothbrush to clean those out too. So this is where the toothbrush really proves its worth. It's real easy. There's no better tool than this. You can get something called the Tiger Paw to clean as well. But to be honest, the toothbrush just does the trick for me. Everybody's got a toothbrush, so why make it any more complicated than you need to? I'm going to wipe it off now. These are see-through, most of these studs. You've got the bit of the yellow underneath that comes through. But carbon fibre of the sole means that once you do get the bottom of these clean, they look really smart. It's pretty easy, pretty simple. Toothbrush, cloth, boom. Got a practically clean boot already. Some of you might prefer to do the sole plate first and then the upper, because you are going to get some mud from the sole ending up on the upper. Obviously it's a very similar thing for the SG Pro version. Today I've just got the FGs here, but you clean around the studs. Let's just clean the last little remnants of the boot. My water's getting pretty dirty, and one of the things I would say is make sure you keep your water clean, otherwise you're just spreading mud around. So we might just cut it in a second, and I'll go replace the water. Just get the toothbrush in to get that bit again. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with the sole of these. They look real smart. I am going to go and just change the water, and I'll be right back, and then we can look at doing the bottom of the other boot, and we'll talk a little bit more about the upper and what to do when you've cleaned these but they start to get real stinky. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm going to go change the water. I'll be right back. Right, so let's concentrate on getting the sole of the second boot clean. Just kick off with the toothbrush and get some of the excess mud out of the way. It's fairly big chunks here, so I'll just prise those off. So once I've loosened most of it, I'll switch back to the cloth again and we'll just wipe it all off. Once the mud gets wet, well, wetter, it's real easy to wipe off, which is pretty handy for cleaning your boots. Just got to get in amongst these double blades at the back here. Can be a bit of a pain to clean off. Just an indentation, it doesn't actually go all the way through here, so mud just sits in there. Okay. As you can see, my nice fresh clean water is already muddy. We might have to clean it out one more time just before I finish off the uppers. The gist of it though is these boots aren't complicated to clean, pretty much the same as any boot. Don't be intimidated by the fly net and all that kind of good stuff. You just gotta clean them. Alright, pretty happy with the look of that. It's just this last little bit. Alright, they look pretty mint. Now, I'm tempted to clean out my water again, but actually it's not too bad. So I'm just going to another quick wipe over the top. They're looking pretty smart. And there is one clean Mercurial Superfly. Now, they can get pretty stinky after a few wears, especially around the dynamic fit collar here, because the mud can get stuck in it. So one of the things we were thinking was maybe we'll put them in the wash, see what happens. If you're interested in seeing us put them in the wash, make sure you subscribe to our channel, and we'll be doing that soon, I think. So yeah, go subscribe and we'll put the Superfly in the washing machine. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.